Oh, this is going to be interesting, guys. All right. So, yes, we had a little delay. Sorry about the delay. Doug did have a slight emergency at home. He had to play engineer real quick. Doug is here. However, the interesting part is the other contestant has lost the samples completely. Not through any fault of his own or whatever, and there's no hard feelings here. But I cannot reschedule this one due to second round being underway. Samples need to go out to whoever wins this one, so I can get these samples out for the next go round and all that stuff. So we got to call this one a forfeit. That means Doug is going to get a bye, unfortunately. However, Doug is still going to come on. Doug is still going to go through these blind just to get a points total. Hopefully, he scores poorly. That's my hope. That means I win. But I don't know. We'll see. So with that being said, this won't be quite the same, but it should be interesting nonetheless. So here he is, one of the three guys with a lot of the one grain, Mr. Doug.
Man, I'm bummed that your intro sequence is a banger. And I was like dancing, and you didn't put me on in my freeze frame at the end. So
yeah.
Yes, well, Phil, you can still make fun of me. That's what I'm here for.
This is I hate to do it. I hate it. I absolutely am struggling with it. I've struggled with this decision and I have to do it. I'm looking at timing and all that kind of stuff. And I just, it couldn't work. So, but regardless, Doug, you got 3 samples.
I do.
You don't know.
And just to allay any feelings that this box, I'm not going to show you the front of it because it's got my address on it, but this box has still not been opened. This is a fun story, actually, because you sent this to me from Michigan, right?
Wisconsin, but that's all right.
Wisconsin. God damn it. I always mix up those states.
I'll let it slide. At least you didn't say Illinois.
So you sent it to me from the Midwest. I got it in Seattle. I carried it with me to Texas, and then we had to reschedule due to an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And then I carried it with me back from Texas to Seattle. This box has gone sealed across the country 3 times.
Hey,
it's a world traveler.
Traveling samples.
All right, so we're
all right
up now.
Well, go ahead and open it, Doug.
Finally. So the deal is we're gonna pretend like I have an opponent, do the scores because it's all individualized.
The score is individual, yes.
And then what? Do we have like a who scored the most points to come in at the end of this whole thing?
No, it's just for bragging rights.
Okay, cool. Well, I have my bragging rights from the exhibition match where I beat both of you guys.
Yeah. Speaking of points, I'm trying to do a real quick look and see. We've had some pretty good points throughout. Adam from Lost Lanterns got the most at 15. He had the most single round points, 15. Whiskey Franco's right behind him at 12 for his first round. Whiskey Franco is the points leader right now, but he's got 2 rounds under his belt, 6 on the second one, 12 on the first one. So we'll have to next week we'll have to see what Adam can do. See if he can add to that.
2 guys, 1 showdown.
Oh man.
Good to see you, pod guys.
So all you fine people that were waiting in the wings for this to take place. Whiskey Addict, Rangers Respite, Mike, Phil, thank you guys. Smoke Bash Joe, thanks Joe. Hey, Spicy Strawberries here. Jason Coates is here, thank you. My brother Jerm is here. Howdy, bud. Whiskey Deke is here. Whiskey Deke, that means Doug's your next opponent.
What? Donut fish? What?
Off Topic Whiskey's here, guys. Go follow Off Topic Whiskey if you're not already. If it sounds new, it is new, but it's not new. It's Randall, the Whiskey Shaman. Just did a little rebranding. But if you haven't been following them, do that now. Donut Fisher is here. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate you. 3 guys, 1 grain is here. Oh, look at that.
And it's not me this time.
How did that happen? No, it is me. I got it on right here.
Okay.
Who else?
I'm prepping my score sheet real quick.
Hopefully, I'm not missing anybody. I'm scrolling through pretty fast. Donut Fisher, I already caught him. Single Malt Frontier. Nashai 88.
That's me.
Nashai 88. That is a new name for the show, but thank you for joining. Sorry you're not getting the full effect of the actual what it is, but you're right. Jordan ain't got no love from the Bears, and he ain't going to show them no love on Saturday. It's going to be a blowout. Probably not. But Packers are still going to win. Packers by 3. Last second field goal, win the game. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, we haven't actually started sample 1 yet, right? So I should keep
No, you
out of it.
get them. Yeah, get them in your glass. You can go ahead and start whenever you're ready, Doug.
Okay, cool. I got my score sheet prepped.
We got an Ethan here. That's a new name for me as well. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate you. Jeremiah Knight, another new name. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Ethan W is one of my subscribers. Awesome.
Deke, yes, exactly. Mine doesn't refresh either for some reason. I have to close it out and re-hit play again. The other contestant has lost the samples. He is thinking maybe they got thrown away, but he's not sure. So
to be fair to all parties, there was a lot of lead time on this episode.
Well, there was, and I am going to take a little bit of blame because I did not reach out a week ago or a week and a half ago and double check and make sure everything was good. But he did have them set up on his desk ready to go and was on a business trip for the last couple weeks, so he's not sure what happened. What is everybody in the chat drinking?
Is it possible to cross the streams?
Never cross the streams.
I mean, it might happen. Phil is advanced, and I guess I'm officially advancing. We could end up against each other at some point.
Nope, you're on the same side of the bracket. Well, yeah, you would end up against each other
at some point. Not at the very end, but at some point.
Not at the final. Yeah, sorry. It would be. Let's see. I would have to go there, beat Whiskey Franco. Then he would have to, yeah. So you'd have to beat Whiskey Deke, and then still kind of waiting on the bottom half of that bottom portion of that bracket yet. If you all wonder what I'm looking at when I look over there and say that stuff, I got a giant bracket on the wall. I'd point the camera there, but that's a lot of work for me to get up and move the camera. Donald Rance is sipping on some 24-year-old Cooley right now. That is excellent. I bet you that's divine.
I was just checking your list, Jerm. You don't have any Jura.
You're right. I don't.
I just had to rule that out.
I mean, does anybody have any Jura?
I have 3 samples of Jura from somebody who did, unfortunately, buy a bunch of Jura. But they're not whole bottles. I don't think I would buy a whole bottle of Jura.
No, I think I've tried it once and I was like, yeah, that's weird.
All right. So blind sample showdown. Wrong answers early. Glass number 1 is Jura.
Did I have? Oh, yes, I did. You're right. I did have one.
Oh, is it one of the IBs?
That's cool.
Because
An IB
I
jar. That's
didn't
gotta be
this
interesting.
time around. I didn't do my homework of decoding your SMWS numbers, which I did last time.
I
It's
wouldn't
not
worry about it
collusion;
too
it's
much.
preparation.
You don't need. Well, I suppose. Yeah, you don't really need to know the SMWS numbers. You're going to guess a distillery based on how it tastes, and then if you think it's an SMWS, you just got to say an SMWS. You know, I don't need to know
Right.
which bottle it is.
Oh,
Or I don't
you
need
take
you to tell me.
SMWS as a bottle guess?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to go that route, yeah, for sure. Because
I mean, the thing is, I'd want to cross-reference. Like I've always said, it's silly to guess something that's not even on your list.
it is. You're right.
So like if I think it's a certain distillery and none of your SMWSs are that distillery, guessing an SMWS doesn't make sense.
Correct. Cardew. That's an interesting name too. There's a lot of Scotch talk. Ethan was drinking some McCarthy's PX earlier. That's fantastic.
Thanks,
Ethan.
Patty.
That is an excellent dram. Yeah.
We were talking about the McCarthy's PX earlier.
Yeah, that's a great bottle. I really like that. Speaking of McCarthy's, I am drinking some McCarthy's 10-year-old.
Nice.
Yes, very nice. And before that,
I haven't gone so far as to publish this yet, but McCarthy's 10 is my whiskey of the year. I've confirmed it. I did it with a bracket.
okay.
The videos for that are going to be coming out on Instagram soonish.
I don't know if a bracket was required for that.
No, it wasn't. I knew
that,
my pick before the end, but I gave it its fair due. And actually, my 4 finalists all compared pretty well to each other on the level.
Yeah.
So,
all right, what are you getting on this one, Doug? What's this sample giving you?
I'm getting bourbon. It's giving bourbon,
okay.
Red cherries, oak. I would probably wild turkey. I want to say like Russell's Reserve 10 or something like that. Just to double check, it's not Beam. My warm-up drink was a Knob 9.
You got time to make your actual guesses. We got a little bit yet.
Yeah, just I struggle with tasting notes on bourbon because I just don't practice that very much. But
I don't think you drink a lot of bourbon.
I don't, and I definitely don't practice doing reviews of it. I just feel like it's a saturated market. Like who wants me, a single malt lover, to talk about bourbon?
I mean,
if the answer is somebody, let me know.
Phases. I go through phases. I will like there's a point in time where I will drink bourbon every day for a month and be happy about it. And then there's times that I'll have a bourbon and I'm like, yeah, that's not what I want, and I'll have to move on to something else. So
I got something a little funky going on there. That could be wild turkey, but I'm missing the toffee I'd expect from wild turkey.
What have I ever done to you to make you think that I would send you a wild turkey?
Your randomizer. Do you just not have any wild turkey? No, you do.
I do. Yeah, I do.
You have a singular bottle of wild turkey on this list.
Yeah, I got more than that, I think. Kentucky Spirit is the one. And then I got then there's, let's see, what is there? Kentucky Spirit, WB Safo.
Is that wild turkey?
That is wild turkey.
Oh, interesting. I wouldn't have known that.
That actually might be it for wild turkey. I don't buy a lot of heritage bourbon.
So on the palate and the finish, I'm getting this kind of like wispy, almost makes me think Canadian whiskey, but the rest of it doesn't really have a Canadian vibe.
Okay.
And it's like Smarties. And that makes me think possibly like Irish column still or blended. Like this could be Jameson Black Barrel or something like that.
Which, by the way, everybody in the chat, Jameson Black Barrel is a really, really good budget bottle. It's Jameson ramped up a little bit. I wish they proofed it up a little bit more, and I think you can actually get it higher proof in Ireland. I want to say there's a cast strength version, but maybe not. Yeah. So
If it
before the
was another
McCarthy's,
Irish, I wouldn't know.
before the McCarthy's, I had a hand fill of Westland, and
Nice.
Doug actually went and hand filled it for me
I was
because
going to say that's my handwriting on that bottle. I know which one
that is your handwriting. Yep. He went. They announced it. It was available. I hit Doug up and I said, "Hey, I really want a bottle of that." He made his way down to the distillery and filled one up for me, and I picked it up from him like 8 months later. And it is fantastic whiskey. That Westland is fantastic.
All right, I got to start thinking about my guesses here.
Phil, I think Jason would be one to answer this question. Jason, is that a thing? A cast strength black barrel, or Donald? Donald would be able to answer that too. Do they have such a thing over in Ireland and it just doesn't make its way here? Like it's not a distributed product? I know there was a Jameson cast strength, Jameson something cast strength that isn't available here that's available there. And I can't remember what it was.
There's no way this is Jameson triple. Could be Black Barrel, but like I feel like it's another Irish.
See, there is a cast strength version available. I do pay attention once in a while. Yeah, Donald, I'm not saying it's the best whiskey ever made. It's far better than regular Jameson, for around the same price, and it definitely adds. It adds a whole new element to regular Jameson. God, this McCarthy's, and I did struggle with that peated 6-year-old 888. I bounced back and forth between which one was better, between this and that one. And
just gonna mention, so I'm gonna lock in Jameson Black Barrel. Obviously, we talked about Wild Turkey. I kind of feel like it's not that. It feels too column stilly, even though Wild Turkey is all column still. It just feels like Irish column. But if I had to pick a backup, I'd probably say.
Well, you haven't made your official guesses yet, so we can still do that. You got time to do that, but you let me know when you're ready to take your full-on guess.
Yeah, we're gonna write it down before we go on to second bottle, right?
Yeah.
I also feel like we're pretty much 20 minutes in. I feel like it's probably time to lock something in.
Yep.
But I was going to say my backup guess on a bottle is going to be something like Whistler 7 or maybe Bushmills 12 or something. Like I just feel like it's a non-finished Irish. That's what I'm getting.
Okay. Interesting. I like it.
What is going on in the chat?
I think Spicy was trying to ask you, what is a Doug, bourbon or Irish? And she forgot the it. So what is Doug, bourbon or Irish? And somebody said he's a human. All right,
Doug, AI is getting so good these days, you can never tell.
Are you ready to lock in your answers? Yes, Doug is actually AI.
Yeah, and he knows because he's been to my house. All right, I'm ready to lock in. I feel like this is going to be an uninteresting guess for me. I'm just going to be really interested if I get any of this right. Okay, generic category. We're doing Irish. Does that count as a generic category?
No.
Or if you want blended.
Generic category. I mean, blended would be a generic category.
Okay, so if that, yeah. So I'm going Irish blended for specific.
All right, so blended. Irish blended for specific. We'll just write that down now.
Yep. I'm going 45% generic ABV.
Okay. Generic casking.
I'm going used.
Specific proof.
Specific proof. I'm going to go 40 to align with my bottle guess. 40% ABV.
40%. Specific casking.
Ex-bourbon.
XB. Distillery and bottle.
Jameson Black Barrel.
JMO. Black Barrel. All right. Very cool. All right, move on to sample 2 there, Douglium.
All right. And everybody's going to be held in suspense.
They are going to be held in suspense. I have a lot of time. You know what I should do? I should call Zach and get him to come on and talk about
banter with you.
Dougathy. I like that. That's good.
Dougathy. I get John a lot when I say Doug at like coffee shops. They hear John.
That's a weird comment, Spice.
I relate. I get it. I'm gonna say right off the bat,
Doug Holio.
Let's say right off the bat, I like this better. I can already tell you sample 1 is my least favorite of the 3.
Okay.
Because I knows them all.
I will tell you the same. Sample 1 is my least favorite of the 3.
Yeah, just like now we're in, and look at those legs. You can't really see it, but look at those legs. We got some viscosity. Fun
fact about sample number 1. Jason Coates and I had an interesting experience with sample number 1.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did it go somewhere it wasn't supposed to go?
I don't know. No. I don't know if Jason will understand what that means and whatnot, but
okay. The nose is great. The palate's a bit of a letdown on this one.
Okay.
Kind of a bitter finish.
What is great about the nose? What are you getting on the nose that makes it so lovely?
It almost feels malty, but not.
Okay.
It's got like it's got a lot of fruits and like maybe a little bit of citrus in there. It smells dense. It smells like there's a lot here. I could spend a lot of time dissecting the nose. But the palate is immediately telling me this is not single malt. So I think. And so I don't think it's rye unless maybe it's Canadian rye. Like now I think we're in the realm of like it could be I mean, I don't know Canadian brands at all, so let's see what you got on your list. There's no section for Canadian.
There is no section for Canadian. I think it would be what I don't even know what the section is. Hold on. I can pull it up. I got it here.
I mean, the only one that my go-to thought here would be like Alberta Premium, which you don't have. Do you have any Canadian?
Yeah, I got Canadian. I got a few Canadians. Okay, so yeah, I'm betting that some of my Canadians are grouped into the rye category.
Mm-hmm.
Just double checking that. Okay, maybe not.
Okay, here's a wild pull. This could be maybe, but I don't think so. But it could be Minden Mill bourbon. Because the nose is super dense.
So there's a couple Canadians in the oddities. And then, yeah, then the other ones are in the rye section.
Of course, you called the Canadians the oddities.
So they went in there because that's where the world whiskeys landed.
Sure.
Which I don't know why then some of them ended up in the rye, but I think it's because they landed in that section of the cabinet. That would be my only answer to that. but I'm not finding them. This list is a pain in the ass to go through. I'm sorry, guys. Now there they are. Yeah, there's a couple of them in the rye category.
So I'm thinking my wild poll here is this. I'm immediately thinking it's some unusual grain is going on here. Like it's not bourbon, rye, or single malt. It's something else. Could be wheat whiskey.
Interesting.
I don't think it's going to be something weird like, oh, that's an Indian single malt, and I've just not tasted enough of them. It just like it doesn't smell malty. It doesn't taste malty. The palate's really thin, but it's got a lovely floral citrus, a little bit oaky nose.
Nice.
When I first nosed it, my thought was rye, but the palate doesn't support that.
I pull a little bit of earthiness out of this one.
But the palate is just, it's so wispy. It's like almost not there.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think on proof? A little bit higher than the first one, probably. Maybe about the same.
Phil, there's a lot of good ryes. Whoops. There's a lot of good ryes from, what the hell is going on? Where did that comment go? Phil, did you delete a comment? He did. Oh no, there it is.
He's asking about the Eiffel German rye.
Yeah. Phil, there's a lot of really good ryes from Europe in general. Germany. Where the hell is Cairo from? Denmark, I think.
What the heck is that brand called?
I don't know whose internet is going haywire here. Doug, is your internet clunky sometimes?
No, pretty solid generally.
Yeah. Maybe it's me. Is it choppy for y'all? Finland. Yes. Thank you, Jason. Finland. Ooh, that's
the last whiskey I remember that had such a thin palate was the Pendleton Midnight, which this is definitely not because it doesn't have any. I'm pretty sure this is a non-finished whiskey. Just like if it's new oak, there's like almost no oak on it. Also, could be something from the north. That's why I'm thinking Canadian. Or maybe we just pull German rye and we go just send a weird one.
Phil, I can absolutely send you some. Spicy doesn't need to sneak it. And it's Eiffel, I believe. Yes, Spicy is into ancient grains. She likes whiskey made with ancient grains.
Like the Westland Egyptian blue or whatever it is, the barley that they're doing?
No, not barley. So like sorghum or spelt or spicy. What are some of the other grains? I can't think of the name of that. I know there's one that starts with an M. They're like grains that nobody really grows anymore. Oh yeah, Ethan, that Polish rye. Oh man. Even though Rough Spirits would really disagree with me, that Polish rye was something else. That was really good.
Tasting notes wise, I don't know what else there is to pull from this. I don't know what it is.
No, I can't handle another one. I'm tapped out. I am at my bandwidth. Yes, Donald Millet, thank you.
So what do you got? You got Freedom Malts, you got 3 Guys 1 Grain. Is that your limit?
Yep, that's my limit.
I have 4 Instagram accounts.
You know, the thing about it is when the show's not going on, so between April and October, whatever, I'm all game. But then it does, you know, once the show starts, I can't focus on anything other than that for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where are you at on this one, Doug? You got your guesses?
I'm trying to narrow it down to like a bottle because I feel like Canadian rye is plausible, but so is wheat whiskey from somewhere in the north.
That's cool. I forgot all about that. You showed it to me the other day, and it then slipped my mind.
45th parallel is up north, right?
45th parallel is up north on the 45th parallel.
Yeah,
coincidentally.
I don't know my lines of latitude, longitude, whichever one that is.
I'm going to get this wrong if I just say what I want to say right now, but it is near the center point between the North Pole and the equator. I don't, but that's
oh yeah, no, that sounds right. 90 to the North Pole.
Yeah. But the actual spot is not super close to where that distillery is. So
okay, it looks like it's right outside Minneapolis.
45th parallel is right outside Minneapolis. Yeah.
All right, I'm locking in a bottle then.
All right,
we're gonna send a weird one.
Generic category. What do you got here, Doug?
Well, I suppose it's wheat whiskey.
Wheat. All right. And generic ABV proof.
I want to say 43%.
Generic casking.
I'm gonna look up the bottle real quick just to make sure I'm not totally off. Because you gotta. All right. Well, we diversify our guesses is what we do. Okay. So next up is generic casking. I'm gonna say new oak.
Okay. Specific category
is American wheat whiskey.
Specific ABV or proof.
48%.
Specific casking.
New oak.
Staying with new.
Yep.
And bottle and distillery.
45th parallel red fife wheat.
Red fife.
Interestingly, my age guess would not have aligned with that bottle, but we're not getting into the age guesses because there's no tiebreakers today.
There is no tiebreaker. And
am I blurry? Is it internet problem,
yes.
Or is it my camera focus problem?
No, it's internet issue because you keep pausing. Your video keeps pausing, but your audio is good. I have highlighted a comment from Spicy. I don't think he has Whistle Pig. You would be correct. I will not buy a Whistle Pig. I don't believe in their practice. I don't believe in their business model. Not anything bad about the whiskey. The whiskey is fine. Stuff that they buy from over the border. I just don't feel that it's worth, bringing across the border and immediately upcharging 300%. So that is why I do not buy Whistle Pig.
I'm inclined to blame StreamYard for this though, because the same thing was happening the last time I was on StreamYard.
This
not my camera though, because I was the host. I think if you're the host, they prioritize your camera. But
okay, because I'm not having any issues on my feed, but
you look fine to me.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Doug. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you always look good. Yeah.
Yes, Donald. Red Fife is Canadian wheat. That's very, very cool. 45th parallel does source Canadian red fife wheat. However, it is grown in Minnesota. And then they distill it at the distillery if they're going to make the red fife wheat bottle. And it is a very, very fun bottle. Doug, I'm going to give you a hint here since it doesn't really matter too much. Sample number 2 is not the 45th parallel red fife wheat. Okay. And I will send you a sample of that. So save a little bit of sample 2 so you can taste
the two
side by side.
Cool. Was that like too? I'm locked in. I'm not going to change it. Was that too wild of a pull? Am I like way off base?
No, actually, to be honest with you, I would have never ever sat down and side by sided sample number 2 to Red Fife with the Red Fife. So I'm interested to do that
Cool.
see how that comes. But sample number 3, go ahead.
Yeah. So I stuck my nose in here and I thought immediately Springbank and Sherry.
Interesting.
That was my first impression. That is why, and just because it's got that funky peat that's not Isla peat that's going on. And that's why I asked you about Jura. Because Jura also has that kind of funky peat that's not Isla.
They're all good ryes. We just don't get them. I don't know. I'm partial to Alberta. Alberta rye is very good. Lot 40 is good. I like JP Weisers as well. I know that's, I think it's decent stuff.
All right, what I'm going to say, I'm nearly certain all 3 of these whiskeys are under 50%. And that's wild considering how much cask strength stuff you have in your collection, Jerm. If that's true. If these are all non-cask strength whiskeys, not even high ones. I don't think it's Springbank 15 though, because Springbank 15, at least the one I tried, was super sherried. Like I think this is a Springbank 10 with like a moderate sherry.
Yes, Jason, I always forget that there is actually an Alberta premium that's not cask strength.
Yeah.
Or an Alberta rye that's not the premium.
Yeah.
When I say Alberta, I do mean Alberta premium cask strength. That's the Alberta.
Did I tell you I got a bottle of Alberta premium cask strength for $30?
Yeah, that's an awesome deal.
Yeah. We actually think that they like typoed the price on the store and it was supposed to be 130.
They for sure did. It's maybe 130 by you. It should be about $65 to $70, maybe. That would be my guess. I have not had the dark oak yet. I really, really want to. I have heard so many good things about it, and it's so difficult to find it for me. Oh, Donna Fisher, great question. Great question. Rye and single malt to me can be very like peas and carrots. You know what I mean? Like if you really, really like single malt, you would probably really, really like good rye. And vice versa. I think they just like they're very different in their notes, but a lot of times really good rye will have some very nice apple notes, some very nice citrus notes. And you can totally get those notes in single malts as well. And I think there's so much variation in rye as there is in barley. So you can definitely have a really good experience with both styles and enjoy both of them. What you pulling off of this one other than Springbank and Sherry?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have a tendency like when it's a blind, when I think I know what it is, I just stop doing tasting notes, which is stupid. So I get like a little bit like decaying apple. Ooh. On the nose. Reminds me of foggy day, like a foggy day in fall, like all that sort of like there's some leafy decay.
Okay.
The palate is actually not screaming single malt to me, which makes me think this may not be Springbank. But my next closest guess would probably be Glen Scotia, and I don't think so.
Donald, I love that idea. Thank you, sir.
So like a little bit of smoke, but it's more earthy than smoky. It's a little funky. Like it's almost like Band-Aids, but it's not like the Isla Lafroig Band-Aids. Yeah, long roast practically Springbank. But you might be right with how little peat that I'm getting on this. Yeah. Thanks for the assist. Or completely throwing me off.
Yes, was it? Which way did it go? Was it an assist or a hindrance?
Wait, long row is the more peated, isn't it? What's the one from Springbank that's not peated?
You're challenging my memory here. Okay.
Hazelburn.
Hazelburn is not peated. Longgrow is more peated. Springbank is in the middle.
Yeah, I would go with Springbank out of the three then. You do have a Springbank 10 on the list. Let's check out if you've got a like Loch Lomond 12, I think is a possibility because I get like the same kind of lightly peated earthy decay kind of thing on Loch Lomond.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
You know what sucks about that? I just bought a Loch Lomond, but have not gotten around to opening it. So Loch Lomond 12. So I wouldn't be able to pull it parallel right now.
Wow, really? Phil, that's a very interesting comment. Because Longgrow and Hazelburn are way harder to find than Springbank usually. Not always the case, but generally speaking, Springbank is on the shelf before either of the other two.
So you do have a Glen Scotia, but it appeared in episode 12, sample 1. I've done my homework.
And that means what?
Does your randomizer not exclude things you've already picked?
I don't pull anything out.
Okay, great. That's good to know. I can stop wasting my time. It gives me a reason. It's like some people, it's like you're watching sports for your fantasy football team, right? Like so you can collect the stats for something else. Like I'm watching Blind Sample Showdown so I can cross things off Jerm's list. Also because I like seeing you all guess things.
Doug has been crossing things off on the list that have come out, and that's hilarious, man.
I mean, you've got so many things that it doesn't change the odds significantly anyway.
It does not.
This isn't Talisker. It's not Highland Park. It's not any of those normal lightly peated things. The only thing, I don't think it's Talisker, but I haven't had a lot of Talisker besides the 10 and cask strength stuff. So maybe, but it's almost certainly not American single malt because I think I've had every peated American single malt and it doesn't resemble any of them.
That's a bold statement.
I'm for sure certainly wrong about that, but that's an opportunity for people to prove me wrong and tell me what I haven't had.
That's a lot. I mean
by brands, I don't mean every bottling.
No, I know what you meant. Even still, I think that's a crazy statement.
I guess the thing is with 200 plus distilleries, you don't necessarily know who all is doing.
Yeah, and there's more than 200 plus. I mean, there's definitely more than 200 because there's a whole ton of them out there that get zero recognition, and they're just little tiny guys that they put out 20 cases a year or whatever. For the,
Phil, yes, I have tried the Keschel peated. You sent me a sample. In fact, I had that as a warm-up dram on one of the episodes of Three Guys, One Grain.
He's been talking about that particular bottle awfully a lot recently, and I'm going to go ahead and guess that it is one of the bottles in that box of 12.
If that's true, it's very possible I've already tasted it and didn't like it in the context. There was one I tasted that I'm like, okay, that's peated and I don't like it. But it was like because it was a weird sulfury kind of peat, which does align.
Was it number
with my
3?
memory. I think so, or number 2.
Okay, so number 3 for me tasted like mildew musty. Like I love a musty malt, like old library books, wet cardboard, touches of wet cardboard, that kind of stuff. I like that musty kind of malt, but it touched on like you washed the towels and you left them in the washing machine for a couple days.
Yeah, I hate
And
that.
right. So
Did you do the
and
Judgment of Westland?
everybody stop. You've all done it at least one time.
Have you done the Judgment of Westland? Did you do that where they did the 4 different world whiskeys, or Westland plus 3 others, but they didn't reveal the distilleries, they only revealed the countries of those. Do you know about this?
No, I don't know about this.
This was way back. I think it was 2021. They basically were like, let's do the Judgment of Paris, but for single malts, and prove that American single malt can sit on the same footing as roughly equivalent price point, like tier of whiskey with other countries, because there's always the tendency to have the unfair comparison. So they got a bunch of distilleries together to basically say, like, let's agree to put forth a whiskey that is roughly on the same tier of product.
Okay.
And blind everybody it's essentially a double blind, I think.
Yeah.
So, and also they don't reveal the distillery. So it was Westland, because of course Westland's putting it on. We know it's Westland. It was Westland flagship. And then it was a Scotch, a Australian, and an Indian single malt.
Okay.
The one that turned out to be the Indian single malt, I hated immediately because it tasted just like what you're talking about, that mildew.
Okay.
And once I got that note, like there was other stuff to it, but once I got that note, I was just done.
Go away from it. Yeah. Like I'm hoping to come back to that sample 3 at a different time and day. And it's not that, because like, I don't want to poo poo on somebody's whiskey. That's off topic whiskeys phrase. But it was really off putting when I had it. And yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was sample 3. I thought that was the one that did that for me.
So what's interesting is I tasted them all, and then I came back a couple days later, or in each case, I recorded 2 videos, and then 2 days later I recorded 6 videos. I just did a speed run yesterday I needed to get ahead because we have dry week starting tomorrow on the Whiskey Lodge, and it would suck if I had a bunch of whiskeys to still review and try to do dry week. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to front load all of them and then release the content. So my palate was probably too shot by sample 7 or 8. I think I know what those were, but I think in all cases, I came back the next day and I was just like, I don't like the ones that I thought I knew what they were. I agree, but everything else I wasn't sure about. I had a completely different set of tasting notes. I felt completely different about them. I know I didn't mix them up because I only had one bottle open at a time and they're labeled on the lids. The oldest single malt distillery in North America is in Nova Scotia.
I know the answer. It's Glenflora or Glen Brighton, whichever way you want to call it.
Wait, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Why didn't I remember that? But it's in Nova Scotia, right?
Ooh, that's a great guess, Phil, but not quite.
Yeah, so North America, not the United States of America.
Not United States. North America as a whole.
There is a Canadian single malt that predates McCarthy's.
Yes. I think they were the first ones to get sued by the SWA also, weren't they?
Ooh, fun.
Donald? If I remember my tidbits correctly.
So, okay, here's the thing I'm struggling over. So on the finish on this, it doesn't feel refined enough to be Springbank. It's kind of wispy and disappears a little bit. Like it's got a little bit of that sort of heat incense, wispy effervescent thing going on. But it just doesn't feel refined enough to be Springbank. And so that makes it's really tempting to pick something else that I know is lightly peated. And I think Loch Lomond is a strong contender here. And you only have the one Glen Scotia. And I don't think this is Glen Scotia. So yeah, this is tough. I'm talking myself out of it.
No. McCarthy's is the oldest single malt in America. St. George is the first craft distillery in America. But it wasn't whiskey. They were making other things. Oh, Glen Ora, not Glen Flora. I'm sorry. Glen Flora is a town up here. I'm an idiot. But Glen Brighton is what their labels say, right? Yes. Okay.
And they had an issue with the Glen, of course.
Or Brayton, maybe. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, Glen Brayton. Yeah. And another fun fact: Whistle Pig's single malt that they brought in that was 21 years, I think. I don't remember what the stupid name they put on it was that distillery. They bought it. They brought it across the border. They put it in an ex-rye cask for 4 months and charged $900 for it. You could go to the distillery that it was purchased from and buy a 19-year-old for like $200. So put that in your hat. Yes, that's right. They were the first to be sued by the SWA because they used the word Glen in their name.
By the way, thanks for reminding me their name, because every couple of months I'm like, Single Malt Frontier should interview the first single malt in North America. And I remember that, and I could not remember their name. So thank you.
All right, where are you at with this one, Doug? You got your guesses locked in?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in. I'm
right.
gonna stick with my first impulse, because why change?
Okay. Generic category.
Single malt.
SM. Generic ABV or proof?
46%.
46%. Generic casking.
Used.
Specific category.
Rough Spirits just showed up. He wants to fill in. Single malt Scotch whiskey.
Scottish. Single malt. Specific ABV or proof?
46%.
Specific casking.
Ex-bourbon and ex-sherry. They took shots at them for using island on their label. SWA doesn't even recognize island Scotch whiskey as a region. That's stupid.
Right.
Just saying.
First of all, it's stupid that they don't recognize it. And then, never mind. Don't get me going on the SWA. Just don't.
Look, I gotta get you wound up, because that's your most entertaining.
We don't need to get wound up tonight. Exact Distillery.
I'm gonna stick with Springbank 10.
SB 10-year. All right. Doug, what was your favorite sample of the three?
Number 3.
Number 3 was your favorite sample of the 3. Now, let's the record show, since this is video and there is proof of this, we don't need to dictate this for proof. The American single malt guy, one of the American single malt guys, nailed a Scottish single malt almost to a T. Almost to a T. So sample number 3, Doug, you said single malt. It is a single malt. You said 46%. It is 46%. Used casking. It is used casking. It is a Scottish single malt, like you said.
Okay. Awesome.
Specific ABV and proof, 46% or 92 proof. You nailed that on the head. Specific casking. It is ex-bourbon and it is ex-sherry, both. 70% ex-bourbon, 30% ex-sherry.
We're sounding like Springbank.
Exact Distillery is the Glen Guile Distillery, and the bottle is Kilkerran 12.
Okay, so, and the reason you say I almost got exactly is because, as we all know, the Glen Guile Distillery is the same people as Springbank.
I mean, you were right there. You were next door.
Damn it! It didn't even occur to me, Kilkerran. Because the only Kilkerrans I have
right around it, you said Springbank, Longrow,
but not Springbank,
Scotia, Kilkerran, right there in the
the only Kilkerrans I've had are cask strength. I've never had a. Cool. That's
so that was
cool.
A,
I'm very happy with that.
Really good sample, Doug. That was 6 points on that sample. Great job.
I'm gonna just pat myself on the back and say 1 out of 2 for noticing it's the same distillers.
Now, what I wanted to note for the record was the differences between sample number 3 and sample number 2.
Okay.
You said generic category on sample number 2. Oh, I forgot this part. Yes, Kilcairn 12.
Sweet.
Yes. By the way, Kilcairn 12, their corks are not great. And if you have an old Stranahan's cork, it fits in there really well.
Nice.
Just so
Good
you know.
tip.
Yeah.
More
Save your corks,
reason,
guys, especially the synthetic ones, because real ones break, synthetic ones break, and you want to have an extra one.
That's what I'm saying, Jason. I should get 1 out of 2 for a distillery.
But it's not. It's not. Glengyle is its own place.
I know, it's all unofficial.
It's a different building. The owners are there, but the distillery building is different, and the name is different on the front of the fucking building.
Yep.
That's where we're going with.
You know, and I really like Kilcairn, but I don't think I've tasted even a single drop of Kilcairn in like 2 years.
Wow, that's sad, Doug. You need to change that.
I know where my bottles are. I'm about to go drink some.
Yeah,
like right after this.
All right. So sample number 2. You said it was a wheat whiskey. You did not get a point on that. It is not a wheat whiskey.
Sweet.
Generic ABV or proof. You said 43%. You did get a point there. You were within the ±2.
Nice.
Generic casking. You said new. No points there. It is new and used.
Of course.
Specific
that's my weak
category.
Spot.
You said American wheat whiskey, which for everybody out there who doesn't know what a wheat whiskey is, it is 51% wheat. The other grains can be whatever. It is, other than that specifics, it is same as bourbon or rye. All the rules apply except for the 51% of the grain needs to be wheat. The specific category is American single malt.
God damn it.
Specific ABV proof, you went up to 48%, which you just bounced right around it. It is actually at 45% or 90 proof. Okay. Specific casking, you said new. You are partially right. It is new and then finished in an extra añejo tequila cask.
Okay. Weird. I don't pull that at all. I believe you, but I don't get that.
The exact distillery, Doug, you said 45th parallel. The bottle you called the Red Fife whiskey. The exact distillery is out of Denver, Colorado. It is Stranahan's. And it is the Diamond Peak tequila finished.
You know, Jerm, I own that bottle.
Sir. I know you do.
You know what's funny? I don't like it.
While you were talking about this whiskey,
it holds up exactly what I remember. I don't like it.
And your recent questions about the new Westward tequila finished, if you should or should not go after it. You were talking about this bottle. I'm like, you shouldn't go after that Westward one because I don't think you like tequila finished single malts.
I think you might be right. My thought, though, because I remember I don't like the tequila finished Stranahan's. And by the way, just to be fair to Stranahan's, I love a lot of what Stranahan's puts out. I just think that was a weak bottle.
Yeah, not everything is for everybody. It's just the way it works. It has nothing to do with they did something bad or.
Hey, Spicy's with me. She doesn't pick up the tequila in it.
I don't pick up tequila in it either, but it does have a touch of earthiness to it. Yeah, that isn't there on normal Stranahan's.
And agave does explain that in a way that peat wouldn't, right? Like, where's that earthiness coming from? There you go.
Exactly. Yep.
Because actually, when I first poured it in the glass and I smelled it, I thought smoked cask, and then that never came back. Okay. Cool.
All right. Sample number 1.
So grand total of 1 point on the American single malt.
1 point on that one on the single malt. So 6 points on the Scotch, 1 point on the ASM.
Look, let it be known, my first love was Scotch.
Way to prove that you should be doing the 3 guys 1 grain. You know, we got to talk about ASM.
Look, as we all know, this is hard.
This is very hard. and I am just messing with you anyways.
There's certain distilleries like Springbank or Glenguyle.
Oh,
apparently.
that's
It just has certain hallmarks of flavor that are really hard to mistake. And like once you have that, you can narrow it down pretty quick to just a few distilleries.
Yeah.
Right. Stranahan's, like most of the time, I don't think I'd be confident that I would ever pull Stranahan's out completely blind, unless it was a specific bottle that I knew some flavor note from that is really unusual. So like Snowflake 2024, I've never had a whiskey that tasted like that at all. One guy, one scotch.
Wait a minute. What was the question about? And this was the answer to. A little Jeopardy round here. What's the question?
We'll leave that out there. All right. What's number one?
Oh, is the heavily peated sherry as well. There, I found it. Okay. Never mind. Got it. We're good. Okay. Sample number one. Doug, you started out strong on this one, and then your answer locked in not so strong.
Badly. Yeah. All right. Fair.
Generic category. You said blended. Generic category on this one is a bourbon. 45% was your.
I said blended. You said bourbon.
Yeah, right. You started saying it tasted like bourbon to you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In the beginning of tasting the sample, but you locked in the blended.
Okay. Cool.
45%. It is actually 50% or 100 proof.
Okay.
Generic casking. You said used. It is actually new and used.
Okay. Interesting.
Specific category. You said Irish blended whiskey. It is actually a finished bourbon. Straight bourbon whiskey finished in. We'll get there in a second. Specific ABV, you came down to 40%. It is 50% or 100 proof. The specific casking, you said ex-bourbon. It is actually new charred oak and then put into an orange infused sherry barrel. The face. I love the face.
Excuse me?
Yes, an orange infused sherry barrel. Now, for those of you that need to, or
is this good times?
Know about this. Orange infused sherry barrels. They're ex-sherry barrels that then are filled with orange peels, and they sit in that barrel, and then they dump the orange peels, and then
Phil, doesn't this sound like something Spooky Chicken would like?
Wow.
This sounds like something right up Spooky Chicken's alley.
This is not to be confused with VDN. VDN is a whole different thing.
Vino de Naranja.
Yes, that is orange sherry. However, it's not there's no oranges in VDN. It is orange in color because they left the skins on, and the tannins in the skins turn everything orange. This is actually an ex-sherry barrel that they then peeled oranges and filled the barrel with orange peels. So it does a little infusion with the bitterness in the orange oil.
Is this like a common practice? Because that's such a wild
thing
to do.
It is not a common practice. There are currently about 2, maybe 3 distilleries that use them in the United States. This is one of them. Your exact distillery was, well, you said Jameson, which everybody, if you're not aware, Jameson is made at the Middleton Distillery. And then the bottle was Black Barrel, which, by the way, is a good one. If you see it in the store, pick it up. It's fun to drink.
But that's not what this is.
Right. Not orange wine or orange flavored wine. And VDN is not anything to do with oranges at all. This is the Driftless Glen Bourbon de Naranja.
Interesting.
Yes. Jason and I had an interesting experience with this. I bought this. I hated it. I thought it tasted like Dayquil, the orange Dayquil. I did not like it. Jason and I met up shortly after I bought this and tasted it and didn't like it. We went to Driftless Glen. It happened to be part of the tasting on the tour, and he actually liked it. I somehow, I don't know how, don't ask, ended up with a second bottle of it, and the second bottle is better than this one. Like, it's not quite as Dayquil-y and syrupy and gross. So for whatever that's worth, don't negate it. It might be fun for you to drink. It's not ugly. It's just not my style. But
So
it's
in a
killer,
matchup, I don't know that I would have won in a matchup, to be honest, with that point score. I racked them up on the spring bank, but that could have easily gone a different way.
that could have. You would have scored 7 points total, which I mean is not a bad score, realistically, in the grand scheme of things.
I'm comfortable with that. I'm sad about how wrong I was on the first two.
7 points. I'm upset with your American single malt wrongness. No, I'm not. That totally changed that Stranahan's. That tequila barrel totally changed that Stranahan's.
Now that you say it's Stranahan's, I can smell Stranahan's on it, but it's still a weak bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Stranahan's, like Stranahan's has a lot of really good stuff, but their malt doesn't have a really strong distillery character, I think. So like whatever they do with the casking tends to override. It has a lot of different faces. Like the brewer's cask, the red wine cask was utterly delicious. I think Stranahan's in wine barrels is the Stranahan's sherry is great. The Stranahan's distillery edition in red wine cask is great. The Snowflake 2024 is great. What do these all have in common? Red wine cask. Basically, I mean, sherry is not a red wine, but like in the same vicinity.
Gotcha. Yeah. The one thing that Spicy says it best, should have stuck with your gut on number one. What I find with bourbon, especially on this show and watching people go through this, if your first sip instinct says bourbon, I don't care 10 minutes down the road what that glass changes to, stay with your first guess, because bourbon can change very drastically in a glass in a short period of time. The rye spice can come out, the wheat spice, the wheat can come out. There's all kinds of things that can happen that changes it drastically. And if your first instinct was bourbon, stay with it. Just stay with it. So green banana and applesauce. All right.
See, Whiskey Deek, if the randomizer gives me all American single malts and I don't get them, then I look like a fool. So you could also look forward to that potentially.
Actually, judging by tonight's performance, I would hope it does give them all ASMs.
Yeah, whatever's funniest, right? Like that's the so-called streamer luck. Like it's not whatever's good for the streamers, whatever's funniest.
Right. All right. So Doug, congratulations. You move on.
Thank you. I really appreciate going through with. I mean, I've been anticipating drinking these samples for I don't know 6 months or something.
I hated how it had to go this way, but I couldn't do a reschedule on it because it's too close. We get too close. So it's tough. There's no hard feelings. I hope there's none on Sev's end.
I hope I get a chance to have a drink with Sev.
And yes, and I told him, I said, if he does locate the samples, I told him, please enjoy them, and I will gladly let you know what they are. Yeah. So Doug, you move on. 2-4 is the next one. Yeah. 2-4.
Well, that is coming up soon, huh?
Yeah.
Now I see the problem.
Yes. So
cool.
Yeah. But yes.
Yeah, Phil, I think I was immediately primed to not think ASM because I was fairly sure sample 3 was Scotch and sample 1 was bourbon on my initial impression. I just wasn't thinking about American single malt at all at that point. I still, even if I was thinking American single malt, I don't think I would have pulled Stranahan's out of this one.
Let me go see if I just can't read my writing, Deke.
What?
Yeah. No, it clearly says 2-4. Well, Deke already knew what his date was.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't I? Did I tell you something different, Deke? Like
Phil says I forget who I'm losing to.
It's all right. Everybody forgets. You're going up against Russell, Crass Leatherworks. Phil. Whiskey Deke thought he was on the 21st. I had to change that, remember, Deke? Or did I just not change my writing on there and I actually changed? Hold on. Hold, please. Finding out. Samples per week. Nobody can see this top secret list. This tells everybody what it is.
So my prep for today also was I sampled a few bourbons and ryes because that's generally my weak spot. I was my biggest fear is that the randomizer would give me all bourbons.
No, Deke, I think that's correct. You should be 2-4. Russell's 121. I will double check that with Russell because he's a fireman and he's at the station one of those 2 days. So like he couldn't do it the day that he was originally set for, and he told me right away. So you were the only one in that date that worked. So I flipped you too. But I'll double check with him tomorrow. I'm not gonna hit him. Well, unless he's in here. Is Russell in here? Sound off, Russell. But yes, one of those. Yeah, I think it's correct. I think I changed everything correctly. So it's difficult because I do the samples per the week before the people are there. I pour them and I write that week on there. And if I have to change the date for the people, then I got to make sure I change everything around on here. And sometimes I forget to change that date.
So here's a suggestion. What Phil does for the Virginia Whiskey Tournament is he calls all of these bouts. That's an inside joke. Yeah, all bourbons would be brutal, especially for me, because I drink like best case scenario for me with bourbon is I will identify it as bourbon. I don't have the experience with the number of distilleries that I would need to be able to pick out a specific distillery profile. If that's even possible.
Isn't there just one distillery that distills all bourbon in the world?
Yeah, Buffalo Trace. And well, no, there's two. Buffalo Trace and MGP. Everyone else is lying.
I'm kidding. I kid.
Of course.
Obviously,
Okay, Beam.
I like
Beam
bourbon.
Has a specific.
Corn does suck, but I like bourbon.
Last time I tasted a Beam sample, I was like, I don't get the peanut note, and I was worried. So I did a side by side of any other bourbon. So I chose Maker's 46 because it was the closest thing, and Beam to just remind myself what the Beam peanut note tastes like.
So I don't always get peanut out of Beam. Now, when I say Beam, I'm not buying Knob Creek or Jim Beam White or Black Label or whatever. I do the Booker's batches, and yeah, those have some variance in them. Those batches, there's some serious variance in them, and there's a lot of them that I don't get peanut at all, and there's some of them that I get like grandma's perfume, like strong, which is really fun for bourbon.
There was a 2022 was my first one and had a lot of not peanut at all. It had a lot of like, it reminded me a lot of Wild Turkey, honestly.
Okay.
The 2024 had a lot of like peanut and toffee and peanut brittle all day. So I agree, lots of variants, it makes it a good brand.
I do want to get shirts that have a hashtag corn sucks on them. That is a Freedom Malt shirt that I would love to have made.
So Jason Coates said Stranahan's gives green banana and applesauce for him.
Yes.
I'm gonna go look for that because sometimes I need to read other people's reviews more to like get the power of suggestion and expand my tasting notes vocabulary. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hey.
All right.
You all should follow 3 Guys 1 Grain.
Yes, please, guys, go follow 3 Guys 1 Grain. We got a series of shorts dropping. I didn't do any ads tonight. I was feeling a little bit tonight, but I will say this: if you come to Wisconsin, go fucking shop at Richard's Liquors. Don't disappoint me. Just go there. Just go there and buy some shit. It's what you need to do.
Oh, did you forget to show the ad?
I did. And it's not that I forgot. It wasn't a ton of people watching, and it was kind of a different thing tonight. The vibe wasn't there and all of that stuff. So,
well, thanks for telling me I don't bring the vibe.
It's not the vibe of the show, not the vibe of you. You brought your normal vibe. But 3 guys, 1 grain. Seriously, guys, we got a series of shorts dropping. Started today. We dropped the first one today. They are the 3 of us doing quick timeout. They're the 2 of us doing very quick thoughts, and 1 of us doing very long thoughts that have to be chopped down into a quick thought.
Okay, but I didn't know what we were doing for editing yet, so I just sent you the thing that was unedited.
Yes.
Jerm's like, you sent me 3 minutes for a reel that can only be 3 minutes long. I'm like, well, I thought you were going to edit it down. So I'm editing my own now. Don't worry about it.
And Randall and I aren't editing at all. We're just 25 seconds. But
how do you get tasting notes in 25 seconds?
Because we spent the time that we did it beforehand.
Oh, well,
and then just no, we're not cheating. We spent the time with it ahead of time just so we could bullet point shoot out a few thoughts. All right, well, all of my maybe I'll do that for the last 4, but my first 8 are I literally poured it and recorded a 3-minute video, and that's my tasting notes. Yeah, I know.
That's why I had to trim it down.
Trust me, I saw it.
There's video evidence.
There is. Anyways. All right, guys. Yes, but the series of shorts every day until the 18th will be the last day. And then on January 19th, we are going to go live, which we do need to do a test run to make sure that works. We are going to go live, and we will do sample number 12 live on the 19th. And we will do the reveal of all 12 samples on the live. We will have some banter. We will have some fun. We will have some laughs. And just general conversation about ASM. So it should be a good fun time. Stop by, check out the shorts, and stop by on the 19th.
Jerm didn't have to catch anything because he started the first one, but he catches something on the second one.
Spoiler alert, I don't start every one of them. And I'm not in the middle of every one of them either. So I did a spreadsheet to make sure we all got to be in different positions. We did a rotation. Release the Doug cuts. Man, I got a whole file of Doug cuts.
I mean, not to use Jerm's channel to promote my Patreon, but I am going to put the probably less edited, not completely unedited, but less edited versions on Patreon.
Grifter.
Yeah, I got a Patreon now. I got to wrap it.
There is some really funny stuff that doesn't make the final cuts. Today's short, Doug actually said he thought it was Virginia Blue Ridge. Whiskey Shaman also thought it might be Virginia. I did not give a distillery guess because I don't really want to be embarrassed all that bad. But I have no idea what Phil has. I have no idea what his little evil plan was or any of that. So I know they're all American single malts. I do know that. But
unless he lied to us,
they could be some kind of crazy I mean, he's out there in Virginia. They could be some kind of crazy moonshiners single malt coming out to still. I don't even know.
There's actually a lot of single malts in Virginia, like more than you'd think. Like at least a half dozen, I think.
And I did see Jake Cumming Whiskey posted a label for Burnt Church's first ASM.
And they are going to be on Single Malt Frontier in a couple weeks.
Excellent. I'm excited for that. I've been following them for a while and really interested in their stuff. And I just haven't pulled the trigger on getting any. I think I can order directly from them and get it shipped to me, but I just haven't done it yet. So, but this single malt coming out, that might change that. So
I haven't tried it yet, so I can't comment, but I'm gonna soon. I had other content to shoot first.
No, Phil, you don't need to send me your spreadsheet. I don't actually. Yeah, I feel better not having any idea. I do, however, want to say that I did call a distillery on sample number 2, not on the video though. I'm pretty sure it was sample number 2. I thought it might be Copper Fox because there was some weird funkiness going on, and my experience with Copper Fox has been there's been some weird funkiness going on in the bottle. Very good weird funkiness, but still weird funkiness. So
yeah, I could see it. It did not agree with me when I recorded my video. When I tasted it again, I was like, I don't know why I was so harsh on it the first time, but that's just how it happens sometimes.
It does. Yeah. So, but anyways, guys, I thank you all for tuning in to the weird episode of the Blind Sample Showdown. It has been a slice. What do we got? We have one more round one makeup round to do. That is on January 22nd. So please, Wednesday, January 14th, next week, Wednesday, we have whiskey for Apollon, Adam from Lost Lantern, going up against Joey, the whiskey drinking panda, who took out Randall, last year's winner. So that should be shaping up to be a great, great show. And I don't know if Adam might have something new and exciting to talk about. So we'll see. But other than that, a whole slice. Yes, sir. A whole ass slice. Other than that, I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in yesterday. I thank you for tuning in next week. Appreciate every one of you for coming along on this journey with me. And Doug, great job tonight. You actually did do pretty good, even though you didn't have a competitor tonight. 7 points is a pretty good score. 7 points.
Yeah, it was just chat throwing me off instead of my opponent.
Yeah, right. They didn't disappoint. So I need to put a little whiskey in this glass so I can cheers you all out. But until next week, Wednesday, everybody, cheers and thank you.
Cheers.